Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Freeman Motorsports to kick off the second race of the NASCAR Truck Series Championship in 2023. Thanks to everybody tuning in, especially if you're tuning in after the fact to see my reactions to what happened during the race. I appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe. And yeah, we got a lot of big news that has come out in the NASCAR industry today. And I think the biggest news breaking today would be Chase Elliott is going to be out this weekend at Las Vegas, and I would imagine that he's going to miss a couple more races as well. He is going to be out because he is undergoing foot surgery, I believe, after a snowboarding incident in Colorado during this past week. I know he was not the only driver exploring the mountain slopes. I believe Kyle Larson also posted on his Instagram that he was in Colorado doing some snowboarding with his kids, so I wouldn't be surprised if Chase Elliott may have even been on that same trip as Kyle Larson. But either way, this isn't the first time in the world of motorsports we've seen a driver had a bad skiing crash or snowboarding crash. So maybe this is just a sign that NASCAR and any sort of racing driver needs to just give up snow sports. I mean, I would imagine that if you're having some sort of surgery on your leg, then you're probably going to be missing at least probably 2 to 4 weeks of racing. Now, obviously, we saw Carson Hocevar with a broken foot qualify in the Truck Series last year and put his truck on pole at Sonoma, a road course where you would use probably even more of your left foot than normal. So, obviously, I think Chase Elliott is going to be doing as much as he can to get back in the race car as quickly as possible, and I wish him a speedy recovery. But yeah, that is definitely going to be interesting. Obviously, he'll probably get the playoff waiver, so even though he's going to miss a couple of races, he most likely will still be playoff eligible. I'd be shocked if NASCAR did not give him that waiver. But anyways, it's going to give Josh Berry an opportunity to shine on Sunday in that 9 car. And honestly, I would not be surprised if Josh Berry were to go out there and run top 5 or top 10. He's won at this track before in the Xfinity Series. And Josh Berry is a very capable driver who's able to adapt and is quick on his feet. So I would expect some big things from Josh Berry, especially if he continues to race that car over the next couple of weeks, where I'd imagine Chase Elliott's going to continue to miss a couple of races. So also, yeah, there is another breaking news about some crazy incident that's happening tonight, is that the Truck Series now, obviously this is the C Series, if you will, of NASCAR. So, those pit crew guys, a lot of the people that you don't see on TV. Now, the drivers hardly make any money, and so you'd imagine that these pit crew members, they're not getting necessarily like that private jet flight out to Las Vegas. And so they probably just all rent out, a bigger airplane to fly all the way out here. A lot of these guys not necessarily rent out, but just all kind of go on the same flight. But the flight got delayed, and so I think 10 teams, so about a quarter of the grid had their pit crews had one of their flights get delayed. So about a quarter of the pit crews for tonight's race landed in Las Vegas about half an hour ago, and they're getting a police escort to the track so that way the teams will have their pit crews for the start of the race. So that's definitely going to make things pretty interesting to start things off, but all the pit crews should be able to make it to the race by the time it starts. But we're going to go over your starting order here in just a moment. Guys, appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Ginger Williamson, good to see you. Tay Van, how are you doing? Chris Davis, how are you doing? John Forrester, hello. But on your front row, you have Kyle Busch, who laid down a blistering lap in qualifying, and this being his home track. Obviously, Kyle Busch, the odds-on favorite to win tonight. I just want to check if he has to come from the back, though, because maybe in the Xfinity Series he has to start at the rear. I'm not sure if that's also a thing in the Truck Series here tonight. Trying to see if I can get an update on that somewhere. Does anybody know if Kyle Busch should start from the back in the Truck Series? I know he has to start from the back in the Xfinity Series. Okay, well, regardless, we'll go on. You got Nick Sanchez starting to his outside in Rev Racing's first start of the season. And then on row number 2, Chase Purdy in the number 4 truck will start on the inside. He's Kyle Busch's lone teammate this weekend, and so you can definitely see how that KBM equipment making a difference at the front of the field. Then starting to his outside, the fastest truck in practice, the number 98 of Ty Majeski. Then on row 3, Haley Teagan with a great qualifying run in 5th, but I think even more surprising, Brett Holmes and that family-owned and operated number 32 qualify that number 32 truck in the 6th position. A great effort from Brett Holmes. On row 4, you got the number 38 of Zane Smith, who won just 2 weeks ago at Daytona, and to his outside, the number 42 of Carson Osavar, who's still chasing his first Truck Series win. In row 5, the number 99 of Ben Rhodes, and then in the number 1 truck for Tricon Garage is Kaz Gralla, making a couple of starts in that truck this year. And then on row 6, the season veteran Matt Crafton, and then Christian Eckes in the 19, trying to figure out his new ride for the 2023 season. On row number 7, the number 17 is going to be run by John Hunter Nemechek, who I think is definitely going to be a factor in tonight's race. And his outside is the number 35 of Jake Garcia. In row 8, the number 11 of Corey Heim, and his outside, the number 15 of Tanner Gray. In row 9, the number 23 of Grant Enfinger, to his outside, the number 16 of Tyler Ankrum. On row 10, Matt DiBenedetto and Daniel Dye. On row number 11, the number 45 of Lawless Allen, into his outside, Stuart Friesen. Then on row 12, Ross Chastain will have to go to the back, and his outside, Rajah Caruth. In row 13, the number 5 of Dean Thompson and Timmy Hill. In row 14, you have the number 9 of Colby Howard and the 02 of Chris Wright. In row 15, Caden Honeycutt and Max Gutierrez. In row 16, the number 12 of Spencer Boyd and the number 33 of Mason Massey. And rounding out your field in row number 17, the number 30 of Josh Rayum, the number 46 of Brennan Poole, and starting 35th is Matt Mills. Thanks to everybody watching though right now. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe. We are just about 25 subscribers away from 3,400. Maybe we can get there tonight. Let's see it, ladies and gents. Also, we will not be live, most likely we will not be live for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race tomorrow, but we will be live for the NASCAR Cup Series race on Sunday at 3:30 Eastern, so make sure you tune in for that. See if Kyle Busch can defend his win at Auto Club. Stage 1, 30 laps tonight. Stage 2 is also 30 laps in the final stage, 74 laps. Ball? Well, you know what? I'm glad you're still tuning in, even if you don't have access to the race tonight. You live in Indiana. It's been pouring here all day. Okay, I saw somebody said it was raining here, and I was like, oh no, hopefully we don't have another rain-delayed race. Not another one. Well, the trucks, I believe, have been given the command to start engines, so we'll be seeing them roll off onto the opening pace laps here pretty shortly. Yeah, I think obviously the odds-on favorite for tonight is the number 51 of Kyle Busch. He's starting on pole. It's going to be hard to beat him no matter what. But I would say somebody who could probably present a challenge would be the number 17 of John Nemechek. Ryan Preece drove that truck a couple of times last year, and he definitely made some noise. And then Ross Chastain coming from the back. We'll see what he can do. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though I love Ross Chastain, I just don't think that Nice equipment's gonna be able to compete with KBM here tonight. Thanks to everybody watching right now. Just figuring out some things on my end real quick. Thanks to everybody tuning in, especially if you've been here for the first 2 weeks of the 2023 NASCAR season. So Kyle Busch, wow, this is interesting. They're showing stuff on the broadcast right now. A 38% win percentage in the Truck Series. That is insane. So he wins almost 4 out of 10 races he competes in the Truck Series. I think anybody would be willing to do anything to have a stat line like that. But guys, make sure you drop a like if you haven't already. Let's get those likes up before the green flag. We got 30 people in here. I appreciate it. Let's get this thing up to 15 likes, maybe even 20 likes before the green flag. Hit that like button. I appreciate everybody watching right now. But yeah, I think somebody who's got some good potential tonight, Hailie Deegan. This is the first real race of the season after Daytona. And so Hailie Deegan, after switching teams last year to join ThorSport in the number 13 truck, she has a championship-winning crew chief. The expectations are very high for Hailie Deegan this season. I think making the playoffs is really the bare minimum that she has to do to meet expectations this season. Honestly, I think a lot of people have her pegged to win a race at least, maybe even have a shot at winning the championship this season. I mean, that is really what you would do if you're ThorSport. If any driver shifted teams and that team even changed manufacturers just for that driver and gave that driver a championship crew chief, you would expect that driver is going to go out there and be a contender to win that championship. So I know the circumstances are a bit different with Hailie Deegan, but still, yeah, the bar is very high for Hailie Deegan, and I don't think it's necessarily going to be easy for her to achieve that by any means. So if she can get things started off good here tonight with a possible top 10, maybe even a top 5 run, I think that would be a very good run for her to really boost her confidence. Honestly, whenever I look at her YouTube channel, which has blown up, she has, I believe, almost like 1 million subs, if I'm not mistaken. It may be less than that. But literally every video she posts that's a vlog of the race weekend is, I got crashed out. So really, Hailie Deegan just needs to build some good momentum, get some solid results. She needs to finish races here in 2023. But honestly, I just want to give a shout out to Brett Holmes in that 32 truck after, kind of making some noise in that Talladega race last year, almost winning, just lost out to Matt DiBenedetto. Here he is running full-time in 2023 and putting that number 32 truck 6th on the board in qualifying. So I think that is definitely worth a shout-out there for Brett Holmes. We'll see how long he can keep that track position. And then 35 of Jake Garcia qualifying inside the top 15. That's a good qualifying effort for that team. But then, yeah, a lot of guys that didn't have the fastest laps in qualifying that really are going to be looking to work their way towards the front. Rajah Caruth rolling off 24th after being 3rd in practice, I believe. A 24th result in qualifying is definitely not what that team wanted, as well as Stuart Friesen qualified 22nd. He is not going to be happy with that. Matt DiBenedetto down in 19th. All those guys looking to move forward as this race goes on tonight. Thank you to everybody watching right now. Hey, we got up to 15 likes. I appreciate it. Brandon B., do you have a Venmo so we can start a fast food fund for review tonight? Maybe we'll plug the Venmo in the bio. The Venmo, man, okay. I don't even know if I got my phone on me right now. But thanks everybody watching. Hey, we're up to 3,375 subscribers. I appreciate it. Just 25 away from 3,400. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Trying to get to 3,400 tonight. NASCAR guy, yes, I did. I followed you back. Brandon B., I don't have my phone, but if maybe I'll run and grab it and then I'll let you know. Or maybe that's something we'll start on Sunday. We'll start that on Sunday maybe. Chris Davis, no chance of that. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Ginger Williamson, I will go with the color red. Red is my favorite color. Well, that's not really true. I think red, purple, blue, honestly, all colors are great. Yeah, Ben Rhodes running for ThorSport this year. Yeah, I think tonight it's just going to be, can anybody defeat the juggernaut Kyle Busch? That's the real question. Kyle Busch doing triple duty this weekend, and it's been a minute since Kyle Busch has done that, but honestly, I think triple duty Kyle Busch is honestly more scary than just him doing the Cup race. The more time he has at a track, it doesn't matter what type of car he's in, the more dangerous Kyle Busch is. No doubt about that. You and NASCAR guy, you're going to take a flight to UK to try real chicken. Okay. You think Deegan has no chance of winning the championship? Is that what you're saying, Chris? I mean, at this point in time, I would probably agree with you. We'll see if she can prove anything here in the early portions of this season. Yeah, so we'll go through the starting order again really quick here before the green flag drops. Kyle Busch on the front row with Nick Sanchez to his outside. Now, I do believe that Rev Racing number 2 truck is got association with Kyle Busch or KBM, so I feel like that's probably why he's got so much speed in that truck tonight. So I'm not surprised that Nick Sanchez qualified second, and I wouldn't be surprised if he runs up near the front all night. Then on row 2, Chase Purdy in the second KBM truck, the number 4. Rolls off third to his outside, the fastest truck in practice, Ty Majeski. In row 3, Haley Deegan and Brett Holmes. Row 4, your Daytona winner, Zane Smith, and his outside, Carson Hocevar. In row 5, Ben Rhodes and Kaz Grala, who I think has got something to prove tonight in one of his couple of starts in that number 1 Tricon Garage entry. In row 6, Matt Crafton in the 88 and Christian Eckes in the 19. In row 7, the number 17 of John Harnemachek, the number 35 of Jake Garcia. In row 8, the number 11 of Corey Heim, and the number 15 of Tanner Gray. In row 9, Grant Infinger and Tyler Ankrum. In row 10, Matt DiBenedetto and Daniel Dye round out your top 20. In row 11, Lawless Allen and Stuart Friesen. In row 12, Ross Chastain, who'll have to drop to the rear, and Rajah Kruth. In row 13, the number 5 of Dean Thompson, and the number 56 of Timmy Hill. In row 14, the number 9 of Colby Howard, and his outside, Chris Wright in the 02. In the 04, rolling off 29th is Caden Honeycutt, and his outside, the number 22 of Max Gutierrez. In row 16, the number 12 of Spencer Boyd, and the number 33 of Mason Massey. In row number 17, the number 34 of Josh Rayum. And rolling off to his outside is the number 46 of Brennan Poole. And rounding out your field is Matt Mills in the number 20 truck. And as I am talking right now, the trucks are rolling off of the pit road to start the opening pace laps here. Green flag just a couple moments away. Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be live on Sunday for the Cup Series race from Vegas. Villa, any underdogs for a top 10 finish tonight? Well, I don't really know if we can say she's an underdog, but I'd say Haley Deegan for a top 10 tonight. You wouldn't expect anybody who's in a ThorSport truck to find a top 10 to be, or anybody in a ThorSport truck should not be considered an underdog. But honestly, I believe Haley Deegan has, 4 career top 10s. So, yeah, at this point, a top 10 would mean quite a bit to that team. Oh, but it's Haley. She might have to start from the back here. I'm trying to see. She pulled off down to the apron on the backstretch. Quite a few trucks pulled on to the apron down the backstretch. So, okay. So now I'm actually going to get an update here on how many trucks might be going to the back here. Not quite sure who all's going to the back at this moment. Okay, Tanner Gray, Matt Mills, Ross Chastain, and Brennan Poole. Those are the only 4 going to the rear. So, and already quite a few of those guys are starting towards the back anyways. So, yeah, 4 trucks going to the rear. What did I just say? Matt Mills, Brennan Poole, Ross Chastain, and Tanner Gray. But looking at the poll in the chat, 73% of you guys saying Kyle Busch going to win tonight. 10% say Ty Majeski. 17% say Ross Chastain. Nobody going with Carson Hocevar. Oh, well, wait, wasn't it this track last year where they pulled that crazy tire strategy and almost were able to make it to the end? Came up just short once again. EJ Too Quick, you're so sad Chase Elliott got in a snowboarding accident. Yeah. The breaking news is that, Chase Elliott will not be competing in Sunday after that snowboarding accident where he has had to undergo some sort of leg surgery. And I would imagine if you're having to undergo surgery, he's probably going to miss at least probably a couple of weeks here. But maybe we'll find out on Sunday more of the details of this injury or how severe this surgery is. I mean, obviously Carson Hocevar broke his foot last year in a crash and had to undergo surgery, but he was able to get back in the truck just the following week. Yeah, EJ, it is that bad. I mean, there are actually a couple of injuries kind of nagging NASCAR at the moment. Yeah, Daniel Hemrick was on crutches last week at Auto Club, and I think he still is on crutches this week, but he's been cleared by doctors to race. Seems like he has an issue with his right knee or something, I believe, but that seems like something that has plagued him for quite some time. He's had multiple surgeries on his right knee, I believe, so that might be a different type of issue. And then even in Formula One, Lance Stroll had his bike incident. I think he got hit on a bike he got hit while he was riding his bike, but he's going to be able to race in the Formula One race on Sunday in their season opener. Ball, you went with Majeski because you never vote for Kyle Busch on anything? Okay. Oh, you thought it was a sprained ankle? No, I believe it's quite a bit more severe than that. Ball, it's 2:15 in the morning there. Wow. That commitment right there. Feel free to, give some positive criticisms in the chat on what you think of my commentary or the overlays on the screen. Always looking to improve what we're doing here, so I'm interested to hear other people's inputs, outsiders' inputs. Hey guys, let's get it up to 25 likes. We got 40 people in here. I appreciate it. Going to be getting the green flag here pretty soon as the drivers have just gone down pit road to check their pit road speeds. Rolling off on pole, Kyle Busch. Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat him. I want to check what the odds are for this race really quick because, honestly, I would probably have put Kyle Busch at like plus 100. He has got almost a 40% win rate in the NASCAR NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. That's a bit of a mouthful there. So it sounds like, if you guys are also not in the loop on this, there was a plane holding 10 pit crews for these NASCAR Truck Series teams that got its flight delayed from Charlotte to Las Vegas. And so that plane just landed in Las Vegas about half an hour ago. But the airport is not next to the racetrack. It is at least a 30 to 40 minute drive. So obviously there are about 10 truck drivers on this race right now that do not have their pit crew. Now, the pit crews will be arriving pretty shortly, but if we have a couple of cautions early on and we need to see some pit stops, they're going to be pulling deep from the roster to get some people out on pit road to change their tires. Yeah, Mark, just 25 subs from 3,400. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is the first weekend of real motorsports in 2023. You got NASCAR, Formula One, and IndyCar all going to be racing this weekend together for the first time. So I'm going to be glued to my TV for about 90% of the weekend. Ginger, I will probably not be streaming tomorrow because I'm going to be skiing. So yeah, hopefully things don't go hopefully I don't have an issue like Chase Elliott or whatever. I guess if so, though, I will still be able to stream most likely. Yeah. Wish a speedy recovery to Chase Elliott. Hopefully he can be back in the truck in the car next Sunday. Here are our lights out on the pace truck. Kyle Busch will start the race from the outside line. Nick Sanchez will restart on the inside. Then Chase Purdy on the inside of row 2 with Ty Majeski to his outside. Here they come off of turn 4. Stage 1 is just 30 laps here tonight, and the pace truck will pull off. And the green flag is out in the Victoria's Voice Foundation 200 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Kyle Busch will lead the field to green. We are racing in Las Vegas. He gets a good restart on the outside. Nick Sanchez spins the tires just a bit, and that 51 truck is out of the gates like a rocket ship as they go down into turn 1. They're already making things 3 wide through the mid-pack. Haley Deegan getting put in the middle. She's going backwards right now. She's in the middle, 3 wide. Brett Holmes on the outside. Haley Deegan in the middle. Then the 99 truck on the bottom. Here they are, flying down the back straightaway. The number 4 looking to the inside of the 51 for the lead. He's not going to be there. Kyle Busch is clear for the lead as they go through turns 3 and 4. Nick Sanchez and Chase Purdy still side by side for second place as they come off of turn 4. Nick Sanchez is going to use that outside line to his advantage. He's going to have second at the stripe. Back in the pack, Tanner Gray making things 3 wide as he's trying to work his way back to the front after having to start out back. Oh my goodness, things are chaotic here already on this restart. Still side by side for second place. Chase Purdy on the inside. Nick Sanchez on the outside. Chase Purdy edges ahead into turn 3 And it looks like he's going to have the run off a corner exit, and Chase Purdy is going to take over second position this time at the line. Kyle Busch has already grown his lead up to over 0.2 of a second. And now Ty Majeski with a run to the outside of Chase Purdy. He's looking for third place. Zane Smith has worked his way up from 7th to 5th here in just a couple of laps after the restart. Then Ekis Grala from 10th to 7th. Holmes, Hocevar, Rhodes, your top 10. Deegan with a poor start here. She has dropped from 6th to 11th since the green flag. But meanwhile, Kyle Busch has got Sanchez all in his mirror, but now Ty Majeski going to make a move to the inside of Nick Sanchez down the front straightaway. That 98 truck looking strong here early on. Also, Zane Smith has worked his way up to 4th place. And Christian Eckes working his way around the outside of Chase Purdy for 5th place further back. And the 98's going to get loose on the bottom of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. He's going to slide up behind the number 2 truck. Here comes Christian Eckes pulling to the inside of Zane Smith into turn 3. The 19 looking to get around this number 38 off of turn 4. He's going to pull off that pass. He gets really sideways, but he's going to hold on to it. Almost looped it around, but Christian Eckes and then number 19 Napa truck looking really strong here early on. Issues, though, for Stuart Friesen already as he has brought that number 52 truck down pit road. Number 34 of Rayum also with issues. Meanwhile, Friesen is merged back out onto the racetrack. He's going to lose at least a lap right here. The Busch, Sanchez, Majeski, Eckes, Zane Smith, your top 5 right now. Then Purdy, Grala, round out the rest of your top 7. Yeah, they cut to a replay here. The number 19 almost looped it around off the nose of that 38. Great control by the driver there. Christian Eckes might need a new pair of underwear after that one right there. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Kyle Busch has not been able to pull away from Nick Sanchez. Nick Sanchez staying in the mirror of that number 51 truck as they go into turn 3. The gap only about 1 car length as they come off of turn 4. It's really interesting right now. Sanchez running about a line higher than Kyle Busch right now. Meanwhile, Ross Chastain trying to charge from the back here at Las Vegas. He had to start out back, and he has worked his way from 35th to 24th here in the early going already. Yeah, Stuart Friesen has actually lost 2 laps on the racetrack. So 2 laps lost on the racetrack for Stuart Friesen. He's already got a big hill to overcome. Nick Sanchez going to the inside of Kyle Busch, though, into turn 3. Nick Sanchez looking for the lead off of turn 4. The rookie making some noise here early on, trying to beat out the legend in the Truck Series, Kyle Busch. Meanwhile, Ty Majeski lurking in the shadows is going to come right up to the bumper of the 51 as they go through turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, we got a spinner in turns, I think, 1 and 2, or is that 3 and 4? Daniel Dye around, but we are going to keep it green. And it looks like some smoke coming out from underneath that 43 truck. Daniel Dye with issues here. They keep a green flag. Nick Sanchez, though, has taken the lead away from Kyle Busch. I did not have that one on my bingo card for tonight. Ty Majeski 3rd, Christian Eckes 4th, Zane Smith rounds out your top 5. Then Purdy, Grala, Rhodes, Hocevar, and Nemechek rounds out your top 10. Also, Chastain now has worked his way up to 23rd. Him and Tanner Gray carving their way up through the field here early on. Thanks to everybody watching. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. We got 50 people in here. I appreciate it. Let's get this thing up to 30 likes. We're at 22 right now as they work their way off of turn 4. Nick Sanchez leads by just 1 truck length over Kyle Busch. We've seen a lot of great racing here very early on. Your top 4 have never been separated by more than about 1 second. And right now they're separated by just a half a second. Sanchez, Busch, Majeski, and Eckes. And as they go off of turn 2, Majeski makes a move to the inside of Kyle Busch into turn 3. Ty Majeski looking for second place on the racetrack. Kyle Busch is going to have that momentum on the outside line off of turn 4, so he'll hold the position for now. But the 98 can be able to get on that left rear corner panel of the 51 and have a side draft down the front straightaway into turn 1. Majeski surges ahead, but once again, Kyle Busch going to have the momentum, and he will surge back to second place down the back straightaway. A dogfight right now for second place on the track. But Sanchez, meanwhile, as they have battled for second place, Sanchez has not been able to pull away. And it looks like, Daniel Dye just goes around into turns 3 and 4. I can't tell if he got any help or not, or if he just went around under his own power there. That angle does not give us a lot of information. Oh, shoot. I just realized I messed up the leaderboard. I think I did. Is that what leaderboard looks like right now? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Leaderboard's still good, I think. Yeah, leaderboard's all good. Leaderboard's all good. Hit that subscribe button, guys, if you haven't already. I appreciate it. We are at 23,375 subscribers right now, just 25 away from 3,400. We will be live on Sunday for the NASCAR Cup Series race, so you want to make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss that live stream. Who is Sanchez driving for? He is driving for Rev Racing, which I believe is an alliance with Kyle Busch Motorsports, so that kind of explains why he is right up there with Kyle Busch. Yeah, he is competing for Rookie of the Year honors this year in the Truck Series. We're currently under commercial break, and according to the scoring pylon, Kyle Busch has taken the lead back from Nick Sanchez. So we're only 12 laps into this race, but it feels like we are already 20 laps in. So much action here already. A lot of swapping for positions inside of the top 5. Your top 3 still separated by just a half a second. Kyle Busch, Sanchez, Majeski. Eka is starting to fall off that battle for the lead, though he's 2 seconds off the lead. And then Zane Smith in 5th, Chase Purdy 6th, Ben Rhodes 7th, Carson Hocevar where he started in 8th, then Kaz Grala in 9th, Matt Craftsman rounds out your top 10. Then John Nemechek hasn't made a lot of noise here already in this one. Now he's up to 10th, but he started 14th. I thought he'd be up further than that early on. Then Matt Crafton 11th, Rajah Caruth in 12th. That's a great start for the number 24 truck. He started all the way down in 24th, so he's already picked up 12 positions. Then Haley Deegan is kind of stabilized down in 13th. She started 6th, lost 5 spots on lap 1. Now she's down in 13th right now. Grant Enfinger 14th. Corey Heim rounds out your top 15. Matt DiBenedetto, Jake Garcia, Dean Thompson, Colby Howard, and Lawless Allen round out your top 20. Then you got 2 drivers who started out back, Tanner Gray and Ross Chastain in 21st and 22nd. Tyler Anker and Max Gutierrez, Chris Wright, your top 25. Then Caden Honeycutt, Brennan Poole, Matt Mills, and Timmy Hill and Mason Massey round out your top 30. And then Spencer Boyd, your last truck on the lead lap. And then Stuart Friesen, the first truck, 1 lap down. He had issues early on, had to come down pit road, I think on like lap number 3 or 4. Not quite sure what for. Then Brett Holmes has had an issue. Tough break for that 32 truck, man. Brett Holmes, if you missed it, was qualified, I believe, 5th. So a great qualifying run for that team, but issues early on. He's 2 laps down, but I think they're back out there. Then Daniel Dye looped it in turns 3 and 4. He's 3 laps down. Then Josh Reum started this race in the garage. He's 14 laps down. Thanks to everybody watching right now. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Now we are back from commercial break with 14 to go in stage number 1. Ben Rhodes putting the pressure on Chase Purdy for 6th on the racetrack right now. And your leaders probably will not encounter any lap traffic before the end of this stage. This stage only 30 laps, so really just a sprint. But we could see them negotiate some lap traffic, possibly. So that could offer up some passing opportunities. And the caution is out, though. And who is that? Oh, and the 32 of Brett Holmes. A lot of damage on the right side, and the caution is out. And the caution is out with 12 to go, so it sounds like they said he's got a lot of damage from the first wreck. So it sounds like Brett Holmes got into the wall at some point early on, didn't have a caution for it, but came down. They had to repair it, and he's gotten into the wall again, and that's probably going to be terminal. A really tough break for Brett Holmes. But I guess the only positive thing that they can come out tonight with is that they know that even though they're just a small one truck operation, that they definitely have the speed to compete up there with the big boys if you're able to qualify inside the top 10. Okay, so it looks like the first time he got into the wall off of turn 4, just lost control of it a bit, and then most recently, yeah, that damage cut down a tire on the right front, and he just goes hard into the outside wall in turns 1 and 2. That's going to end his night. Thanks to everybody watching right now. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. We got 55 people in here. Appreciate it. Excuse me. Let's get this thing up to 30 likes. T-Van, you think Nemechek will work his way up there soon? I would not be surprised. I appreciate that, Ball. I appreciate that. That's what we're trying to get. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to bring that energy. And so it looks like some of the first pit crew members are arriving at the racetrack after their flight was delayed. If you were just tuning in, there was a flight that was carrying about 10 pit crews for the race tonight, and that flight got delayed, so that group of 10 pit crews, so probably about 100 personnel, just got into Las Vegas about an hour ago and have gotten about a police escort to the racetrack. So, yeah, it looks like they are just now arriving as we are already 20 laps into this race, and everybody looking to change into their uniforms as quickly as they can so they can get down to pit road. Woo! Got some great racing, though, here early on. I did not. I thought Kyle. Oh, I just noticed the flag has fallen down. Okay, forget the flag. It's out of here. Forget the flag. I really thought Kyle Busch was going to dominate tonight, but Nick Sanchez got it there, mixed it up with him. He led a couple of laps. Ultimately, Kyle Busch was able to take the lead back, but then you got Majeski was up there in it. Christian Eckes in that I can't pronounce it, but I think the McNally Racing, I think that's how you say it, was also mixing up. So we had like a 4-truck battle for the lead for quite a while there. And so, yeah, Kyle Busch really was not able to drive away from the field like I had predicted there on the first run, but they might be able to make some adjustments to that truck tonight. And then he might be able to just drive away. Charles Blake, Deegan, you wonder where she's running right now. Haley Deegan qualified 5th place, I believe. Yeah, I got it backwards. I think I said 6th earlier. She qualified 5th, so a great qualifying run for that team. But early on, she lost a bit of track position, and right now she runs down in 15th. This is the site where she made her first Xfinity Series start last year, and she had a solid, I believe, top 15 run. Hey, we got 60 people in here. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe. 25 subscribers away. That's right, 25 subscribers away from 3,400. I appreciate it if we can get there tonight. Tell a friend. Yeah, we'll be live on Sunday for the NASCAR Cup Series race from Las Vegas as well. But yeah, if you're just tuning in, we are under caution for the 32 of Brett Holmes. We're getting into the wall after having a flat tire, which he got from damage from getting into the wall early on in the race. But yeah, so Brett Holmes, now they're trying to repair that truck. He might get back out there, but with that amount of damage, he's already 5 laps down. He's going to be out of contention. Then Daniel Dye almost looped it on his own early on, I think, lap number 8. We stayed green, but he came to pit road. He lost 3 laps. Then Stuart Friesen will be the lucky dog, so I think he should be back on the lead lap here. And then Josh Ryum just start and parked it in that 34 truck. Yeah, your running order right now: Kyle Busch, Sanchez, Ty Majeski, Eckes, Zane Smith, your top 5. Then Purdy, Rhodes, Hocevar, Crafton, Carruth, who started 24th. He's up to 10th. Good run for Rajah so far. Then Heim, DiBenedetto, Deegan, Garcia, Allen, your top 15. Then Ankrum, Wright, Gutierrez, Tanner Gray, Mills, your top 20. Good run for Mills. Then Chastain. Mills started out back if you didn't know, so he's already picked up about 15 spots. That's a good run for that team. Then Chastain, Hill, Boyd, Massey, your top 24. And then you have some guys that just came down pit road. Nemechek in 25th will have fresh tires. Then Infinger, Thompson, Gralla, Friesen, Honeycutt, Howard, Poole. Those are all the guys that just came down pit road. I'll be interested to see if those fresh tires on Nemechek and Infinger's trucks, if they're able to charge their way up through the field here with about 8 to go in the stage. Try to get the green flag here pretty soon. John Forster, you're going to be on Austin Dillon car Sunday. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Mr. Fly to the Sky, when is Xfinity? It is tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern. Okay, so Kyle Busch also came down pit road, so whatever running order I just listed off for you guys is actually totally wrong. So ignore everything I just said. The running order is probably from the lap when they were coming down pit road, so it just kind of jumbles up the entire running order. So Nick Sanchez is now your leader. He stayed out. So it's Sanchez, Majeski, Eckes, Smith. Actually, I don't even know if Sanchez stayed out here. I'm trying to see because Kyle Busch had issues on pit road. So it actually looks like everybody came down pit road here. So Sanchez, Majeski, Eckes, Zane Smith, Purdy, your top 5. Then Rhodes, Crafton, Carruth, Heim, DiBenedetto, your top 10. Then Garcia, Allen, Ankrum, Gutierrez, Mills, your top 15. Then Hill, Boyd, Nemechek, Hocevar, Infinger, your top 20. Then Thompson, Gray, Massey, Chastain, Deegan, your top 25. Then Busch, Gralla, Howard, Wright, Honeycutt, your top 30. Then Friesen, the last car in lead lap. Then it looks like Poole 2 laps down, Dye 2 laps down, Holmes 6 down, Rayum 20 laps down. I just saw a yellow truck getting pushed to the garage, so I'm not quite sure who that would be. That's the 46 truck going to the garage. And then it looks like there's another truck that's going to be getting towed from pit road. That's just the 32 of Holmes. Man, Kyle Busch with a bad pit stop here early on. Now that 51 truck, obviously just part-time. So that pit crew not as well in practice as the other pit crews on pit road. So they made a mistake here early on, and they're just going to come back down pit road here actually this time. So he's going to lose a lot of track position here. Obviously still early on in the night. But angry Kyle Busch is a dangerous Kyle Busch, and he's going to be charging from the back. Okay, I got you, John. Ball clashes with St. Pete IndyCar race, so I got to work out how I can do it. When does the St. Pete race start? I think it starts at noon, right? So I don't think it necessarily will clash. Okay, I hear you, T-Van. I think I'm going to do that for the Cup Series race on Sunday, but with the Trucks and Xfinity Series for at least, to have the paint schemes for the week is a bit difficult. Just because since these are a lot of smaller operations, they don't necessarily upload their paint schemes in advance. So, I mean, maybe I could do it on a partial scale. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. But, I mean, usually in terms of NASCAR releases an official paint scheme for the weekend list every week. And it'll have about 30 of the NASCAR Cup Series teams, about 15 Xfinity Series teams, and maybe like 10 Truck Series teams. So there aren't really a lot of officially released Truck Series to paint schemes every week. But I could put up a list of the ones that are released every week if you would be interested in that. Okay, I got you, Ball. But Kyle Busch is about to be charging from the back to the front with 6 to go in stage 1 at the front of the field. A good restart for Sanchez on the inside line. Majeski on his outside, though. And Rajah Caruth going all the way down to the inside, making it 3 wide. Is that going to stick? A bold move from Rajah, and it's going to work. He shoots his way all the way up to 7th place. But off of turn 2, Sanchez and Majeski still side by side for the lead. The 98 on the outside, the 2 on the inside as they go into turn 3. Give the edge to Majeski. Here comes Zane Smith and Christian Eckes with big runs. As they come off of turn 4, it'll be 5 to go in stage number 1. They are still dead even as they come down the front straightaway. Give the edge to Sanchez at the line. Here comes Zane Smith with a big run. He makes it 3 wide to the inside. What a pass by Zane Smith from 3rd to 1st into turn 1. What a move. Sanchez sideways and into the wall down the back straightaways. Straightaway, the 2 truck out of control. They stay green. Zane Smith into the lead. How much damage does Sanchez have? Then Majeski, Eckes, DiBenedetto, where did he come from? And Rhodes, your top 5. How damaged is that 2 truck? And will we see a flat tire? Can he make it to the end of the stage? 4 to go this time by at the line, but what a move by Zane Smith. And how did the 2, he just got sideways underneath the 98. And at the front of the field, though, here comes Ty Majeski trying to pass Zane Smith on the outside down the back straightaway. We have seen great racing after the restarts here so far tonight. Majeski has got the advantage on the outside. Zane Smith loose on the inside. Here comes Majeski through the tri-oval. Give the edge to Zane Smith down low, and Christian Eckes has also joined this battle, and he's going to go 3 wide to the middle. Christian Eckes making it 3 wide for the lead as they come off a turn 2. They're 3 wide. Majeski on the outside, Eckes in the middle, Zane Smith down low. give the edge to Majeski as they go into turn 3. Oh my goodness, your top 5. Cover a blanket. Oh, Eckes is sideways. He's going to save it. What a save by Eckes. Oh my goodness, St. Smith though to the lead with 2 to go. What is this restart? What is this amazing racing? Oh my goodness. St. Smith out front. Then De Benedetto sneaks through all the chaos. He's up to second. Majeski, Caruth, Infinger, your top 5. What is going on? What a move. How did Christian Eckes just save that in the middle of 3 wide? I couldn't believe it that they stayed 3 wide for that long. Too good to be true. Eckes goes or almost wrecks it in the middle of 3 wide for the lead. Able to hold on to it. Looks like none of those trucks really have any damage. But it's Zane Smith out front by about half a second with the white flag out in stage 1. Then De Benedetto in second. Majeski third. Infinger, Caruth round out your top 5. Woo! A lot of competitive trucks here tonight. And Kyle Busch, after starting back outside the top 30, has already worked his way up to 14th in just 6 laps of green flag racing. Here they are, though, off of turn 4. Zane Smith will win stage number 1 in Las Vegas. Majeski second, De Benedetto third, Infinger, Caruth your top 5, then Craftsman, Rhodes, Hocevar, Chastain, and Tanner Gray round out your top 10. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you guys are going to have to definitely watch the highlights to this race after this one. I mean, I cannot believe the racing we are seeing right now. What a save by Eckes. They were 3 wide for the lead for about a whole lap. Eckes made it 3 wide in the middle. A bold move. He saw that gap and he took it, but going into turn 3, I just don't think he realized the 98 was going to be that close on his door. He just got sideways, probably all the air pressing in on that 19. Slides up the racetrack, is fishtailing it, kind of actually taps that outside wall to kind of corral him, and he's able to straighten it out. And I believe he finished, where did he finish in the stage? He dropped all the way back to 19th. But then before that, you had Zane Smith go 3 wide for the lead, coming through the tri-walls like that 38 truck has to run. Originally, I thought he was about to go push Majeski, but instead he decided to jump all the way down onto the apron, make it 3 wide down low, and he just surged right ahead into the lead. And then Sanchez and Majeski side by side for second place. Sanchez almost wrecks it off of turn 2, does tag the outside wall pretty hard, and actually he's come to pit road now. He's 2 laps down. So yeah, that looks like it's going to be pretty terminal damage for Sanchez, or if not terminal, probably take out his shot at winning tonight, which is a shame because that 2 truck was really fast. But wow, tonight these trucks have provided some amazing action, and we are only 30 laps in of 130. Yeah, NASCAR guy, they should have wrecked. Mark, your picks are the 51.99 and the 98. Your dark horse is the 4. Right now, Chase Purdy running in 15th. He started up in 3rd, kind of slowly slipped back since the start. But wow, Zane Smith, Majeski, Eckes were putting on a show. We had De Benedetto with a really solid finish here, 3rd in the stage. Caruth, after starting 24th, he's up to 5th after just 1 stage. Chastain, after starting out back, is up inside the top 10. Kyle Busch all the way up to 12th. And now pit road will be open here, so I'm going to be interested to see if anybody decides to come and get some Mr. Feel-Goods here. This next restart, I'm going to get try and keep track of what the tire fall-off is looking like for the trucks tonight. But your overall finishing results in Stage 1 will go through your entire running order. Zane Smith, Ty Majeski, De Benedetto, Infinger, Caruth, your top 5. Then Craftsman, Rhodes, Hocevar, Chastain, and Tanner Gray, your top 10. Then Heim, Busch, Thompson, Nemechek, Purdy, your top 15. Then Howard, Garcia, Friesen, Eckes, Gralla, your top 20. Then Allen, Gutierrez, Deegan, Wright, Ankrum, your top 25. Then Honeycutt, Massey, Mills, Timmy Hill, and Boyd, your top 30. Then Daniel Dye finishes 2 laps down. Sanchez, 2 laps down. Then Poole, Holmes, and Rayum all in the garage. Woo! Man, a lot of action here early on, guys. You better try and find yourself a TV screen if you can. This race has been phenomenal. And if you can't find yourself a TV, find yourself somewhere the highlights of this race after it ends. Wow. But guys, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're up to 3,375 subscribers, just 25 away from 3,400. And now everybody's coming down pit road here. I'll be interested to see if anybody decides to try and stay out here. Only about 5 green flag laps on the tires. So it might be worth trying to gain some track position here possibly. Stage 2 is also just 30 laps. And then that means the final stage will be 74. So they're going to have to make at least one green flag pit stop. Or not necessarily green flag pit stop. So they'll have to make one pit stop in that final stage. Zane Smith will easily win the race off of pit road. And from what it looks like to me, only probably about half the field came down pit road here. Probably not even that many. Because all those guys that did just pit under that most recent caution can easily make it to the end of stage 2 on that set of tires and gas. But yeah, if you're just tuning in, kind of the storyline leading into tonight was that a plane carrying about 10 of the pit crews for tonight's race had its flight delayed, so the plane did not land in Vegas till about 5:30 Pacific time, and the race was to start at 6 Pacific time. So a lot of the pit crew members did not even get to the racetrack till about halfway through stage 1. But now all that has been sorted out. Ball. An IndyCar race ahead, but better be this exciting. Otherwise, I might have to cancel and go back to this. Yeah, if you're listening to this if you're listening to me right now, you're gonna have to find yourself the highlights of this race on YouTube afterwards. Because, wow, it has been some amazing action here, and it's literally just stage 1. If that was the whole race right there, that 35 laps, I would have been honestly content. I mean, we saw like at least 5 different names all battling at the front of the field, and honestly in the Truck Series race, especially in a Truck Series race when Kyle Busch is competing, this doesn't seem to happen very often. Also, Daniel Dye did get the free pass, so now after his spin early on, he's only 1 lap down. And Sanchez, with that damage, he's 2 laps down. But he's probably going to be quite a bit off the pace. 100 to go. Yeah, we most likely will not be live tomorrow for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Just giving you guys a heads up for that. Yeah, I saw that, Ginger. So now your new running order after pit stops, since not everybody decided to pit. Half the field came down pit road, half the field stayed out. So your new running order is Grant Enfinger out front, Hocevar second, Chastain third, Tanner Gray fourth, then Kyle Busch fifth, Thompson, Nemechek, Howard, Friesen, who's back on the lead lap after having to pit under green early on. Then Growley, your top 10. Then Deegan, Zane Smith is the first guy, I think, on fresh tires in 12th. That's what it looks like. So I think your top 11 stayed out here at the end of the stage. So it'll be interesting to see how much do fresh tires matter here, even though the guys that stayed out only have about 5 laps of green flag racing on them. So fresh tires starting in 12th. Then DiBenedetto, Rhodes, Heim, your top 15. Majeski, Crafton, Garcia, Massey, Carruth, your top 20. Purdy, Allen, Eckes, Wright, Honeycutt, your top 25. Then Gutierrez, Mills, Ankrum, Boyd, Hill, Dye, and Sanchez rounds out your field. So we're going to be getting the green flag next time by. There'll be 25 to go in stage 2. I know this has been announced. Yeah, guys, if you are just tuning in, it was announced earlier today that Chase Elliott will miss the race this weekend as he has had some sort of leg injury, and he's going to be going under surgery tonight. Josh Berry will place him in the 9 car. But yeah, if you are going to be going under some sort of surgery, you're probably going to be out not just for 1 week. But Last year, we saw Carson Hocevar in the Truck Series break his foot and have to have surgery, I think, to his Achilles or something. Not necessarily his Achilles, but like a tendon in his foot, and he was racing the truck just a week later, even though he was walking around on crutches. So, these drivers want to be back in their cars as quick as possible. But hopefully, Chase Elliott will have a quick recovery time here. But Grant Enfinger will start on the outside. Hocevar on the inside as the green flag is back out in stage number 2. A good restart for Enfinger on the outside. Hocevar going to try and get up there and side draft the 23 a little bit into turn 1, but Ross Chastain making things 3 wide to the outside of Enfinger for the lead. Here comes Ross Chastain. Tanner Gray surges ahead to second place down low, and Carson Hocevar leads the pack down the back straightaway. Enfinger losing a lot of spots here on the restart. He started on the front row, and he has already dropped all the way back to 8th here. Here they come off of turn 4. They are 4 wide back in the pack. That does not look good. I'm looking for those first sets of fresh tires to see how they're able to charge to the front. Zane Smith has not made up much ground here after just 1 lap, but it's Hocevar, Gray, Busch, Thompson, and Chastain your top 5 after 1 lap. Hocevar, Tanner Gray, and then Kyle Busch works his way up to 3rd. Chastain duking out with Grant Enfinger and John Nemechek as they come off of turn 4. Here comes Kyle Busch to the outside of Tanner Gray. He's going to make that pass look easy as this 51 truck is trying to get back out front. Hocevar going to do everything he can to hold off this 51, but he's just got nothing for him. Kyle Busch is back to the lead off of turn number 2. He gets a bit loose there. That might open the door for Hocevar to have a run on the 51 down the back straightaway. It does. Hocevar to the inside of Kyle Busch into turn 3. This fight's not over yet. Hocevar going to surge ahead with that preferred line down low. As they come off a turn 4, Hocevar reclaims the lead. Meanwhile, they're 3 wide back there. Gray, Enfinger, and Rhodes. I think give the advantage to Gray on that battle. Oh, wait, that is not Gray. I take that back. Who even was that? It was an all-black truck. Anyways, Kyle Busch going to cross over Hocevar into turn 1, but he's not going to be able to pull off the pass there either. The caution is out, though. The caution is out. Also, Matt Mills has made an unscheduled pit stop. And I think that's probably what it's for. I'd imagine he may have spun it off a turn 4 somewhere. Okay, yeah, it sounds like he spun off a turn 4, running towards the back of the pack. This will give the free pass to Daniel Dye, so he'll be back on the lead lap after being 3 laps down at one point early on in this one. So a good recovery run for him. Yeah, this was back in the pack, and it just gets away from him. He tags the wall, just goes around. Able to save it, but then he looped it back around right there on the exit of turn 4, so that's why they had to throw the caution. But now Hocevar was ahead of Kyle Busch at the time of caution, so he will retain the lead. So it's Hocevar, Busch, Gray, Chastain, Thompson, your top 5. Then Nemechek in 6th. Zane Smith on fresh tires has gone from 12th to 7th. Then Rhodes, Heim, Enfinger, your top 10. Gralla, Caruth from 20th to 12th here on this restart. Then Friesen, Kraft, and Majeski, your top 15. Purdy, Deegan, Eckes, Honeycutt, DiBenedetto, your top 20. Then Ankrum, Allen, Garcia, Howard, Wright, Gutierrez, Massey, Boyd, Hill, all the cars still on the lead lap here. And now I'm interested to see, we already have completed 10 laps in this stage, and with 2 cautions here in this stage, it is already winding us down to the finish of stage number 2. Thanks everybody watching right now. Looking at the chat, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe. We got 55 people in here right now. I appreciate it. Let's get this thing up to 40 likes. Subscribe if you haven't already. Woo! Okay, so right now the battle at the front. Oh, actually Kyle Busch has gone back out front, so I guess he was out front at the time of caution. So Kyle Busch is your leader right now. Hocevar second, Tanner Gray third. Sanchez back down on pit road as they're trying to do some more repairs to that number 2 truck after he got into the wall earlier while battling 3 wide for the lead. Really tough break for Sanchez. Just got a little over-ambitious there early on. Still, though, nothing to really be too ashamed of. Battling 3 wide for the lead in just your second Truck Series start. Now, Kyle Busch's teammate for tonight, Chase Purdy in the 4 truck, down in 17th. I believe he's on fresh tires. Don't believe anybody came down pit road here under this most recent caution. Wouldn't really make sense. These guys only have probably about 2 or 3 laps on their tires. Actually, no, pit road I think is open this time. But yeah, like I said, probably won't see anybody take fresh tires here. Maybe somebody at the back of the pack will maybe come in and make a couple of adjustments. Yeah, a couple of trucks towards the tail end of the field. Woo! 25 subscribers away from 3,400. Let's get it, guys. I appreciate it. Hold on just one moment, guys. Thanks to anybody tuning in right now. Hey, we've had over 700 viewers tonight. I appreciate it. Hammer Bloxy, how are you doing? I don't know if you've been watching this race much tonight, but it has been an amazing battle at the front. We have seen 3 wide for the passes happen multiple times tonight, which is often something you don't say in a Truck Series race, especially considering the fact that we're not even halfway through yet. Well, we'll be live on Sunday, like I've been saying, for the NASCAR Cup Series race at Las Vegas. Can Kyle Busch follow up after his victory in Fontana? He was fast in this race last year, if you do recall. It wasn't until a late race caution where he was taken out of the lead. And guys, for what it is worth, this is the 16th biggest stream so far of 2023. So, thank you guys for making that happen. Currently number 16 on the leaderboard. NASCAR guy, what are we talking about? I think I missed something in there. Ball, what do you think of F1 racing at Vegas this year? I mean, nothing much. I mean, hopefully it's a success. I don't know how it's going to work out, as sometimes those street tracks that are on those tight confines don't end up always producing the best racing. But I mean, I do not doubt that it will be a sellout event by all means. And honestly, I think the growth of F1, even though I obviously still like NASCAR more, and even though there is quite a bit of hatred, I guess you could say, between NASCAR and Formula One, I think the growth of Formula One and even the growth of NASCAR only benefits the other. Because motorsports fans like motorsports. Even though, we may not love Formula One, I would say there are probably, I don't want to make this assumption necessarily, but motorsports fans just like racing in general. So I think it's pretty easy to transition Formula One fans over to watching a couple of NASCAR races here and there, and NASCAR fans might transition to watching a couple of Formula One races here and there. So I think it's kind of the growth of one helps grow the other as well. I don't feel like necessarily the growth of Formula One. I don't know anybody who started watching Formula One and has stopped watching NASCAR, or somebody who has started watching NASCAR and stopped watching Formula One. Like, I feel like the growth of one only helps out the other. But here we come off of turn number 4. Kyle Busch on the outside. Carson Hocevar on the inside. Fresh tires in row 3 and on that number 38 is Zane Smith. Green flag back in the air. A good restart for Kyle Busch, but that inside line's got a big push coming. Back of the pack, somebody's making it 3 wide up there. I think that's Corey Heim trying to make something happen. That's going to hurt the momentum on the outside. Carson Hocevar out to the lead, and here comes Zane Smith, 3 wide down low. Another 3 wide pass from Zane Smith here, and he's all the way up to second place. Here comes Ben Rhodes, though, making it 3 wide for second. Ben Rhodes surging ahead down low. What a move. Zane Smith made it 3 wide first, but he didn't expect Ben Rhodes to make it 3 wide on him now as they come off of turn 4. Carson Osvar out front, then Ben Rhodes and Kyle Busch side by side for second place. Fresh tires on that 99 and that 38 truck, and you can definitely see the advantage right there for those two drivers. Rhodes to the inside of the 42, off at turn 2. Kyle Busch gets loose there through the center of turns 1 and 2. Hocevar, Rhodes, Zane Smith in a 3-truck battle for the lead right now with 15 to go in stage 2. Here comes Kyle Busch to the outside of Zane Smith trying to make something happen in that 51 truck, and he's got a good run through the tri-oval. Kyle Busch going to retake that 3rd position on the racetrack. Zane Smith comes up to throw the block on Tanner Gray, but Tanner Gray going to cross over to the inside of the 38 into turn 1. Meanwhile, Carson Osvar throws a block on the 51 at Kyle Busch through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, Hocevar leads. Rhodes and Kyle Busch side by side for second, but Rhodes will surge ahead. Now Zane Smith and Kyle Busch side by side for 3rd place. Ross Chastain rounds out your top 5. Oh, Rhodes thought about making a move to the inside of Hocevar through the front stretch. Decided to not. Here they are into turn 1. Put a blanket over your top 4 right now as Ross Chastain is trying to inch into this battle. Chase Purdy's had a good restart. He's up from like 16th to 9th. And the caution is out, and we got a spinner in turns 1 and 2. That's the 45 of Lawless Allen. He has backed it into the outside wall. Not the most damage, but that's definitely not, that truck's certainly not going to drive the same. I'd say actually probably got out of that situation pretty lucky. And just bent out to the right a little bit and mushed in a little bit, but honestly not that much damage. He should be able to continue going. We'll see if anybody else was involved. Thank you to everybody watching right now. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Yeah, into turns 1 and 2. He's in the middle of 3 wide. That's not going to work. I actually would say it looks like he kind of got pinched by Kaz Gralla there, and he just kind of slides up and taps the outside wall there just a bit. Yeah, he'll be all good to continue. Just kind of actually would say got pinched in the middle there, 3 wide. Not quite sure. He tried to get into a hole that didn't exist, or if he slid up the track or Gralla game down, but either way they got into each other and it spun the 45 out. We are under caution once again here in stage 3, and we're probably going to get restarted with only a couple to go. A lot of great battles happen at the front of the racetrack here so far in this one. Hey, appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Woo. Also, Nick Sanchez will get the free pass. Now he's only 1 lap down. With all these cautions, it's given Daniel Dye and Nick Sanchez opportunities to get back into this race. Kyle Busch, how are you? Kyle Busch fan Ryan Doherty, how are you doing? Just checking the audio on the stream really quick. Oh boy. Okay, thank you to everybody watching. Just a couple of trucks coming down pit road, though, here. Amongst them, Haley Deegan is one. Oh, boy, and it looks like she just had a penalty from their pit road there. It looks like they might have a tire gotten away. But she's one of the only trucks to come down pit road here, so that penalty's not going to hurt her too much. Slow stop there on 13. So it's Hocevar, Rhodes, Zane Smith, Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, your top 5 right now. Then Gray, Crafton, Eckes, Purdy, Nemechek, your top 10. Then Enfinger, Kruth, DeBenedetto, Heim, Majeski, your top 15. Then Thompson, Garcia, Gutierrez, Howard, and Honeycutt, your top 20, I believe. And I think we'll get restarted with about 8 or so to go in stage number 2. Yeah, we have already had, how many? I think we've had 5 cautions already. Okay, just 4 cautions, but we'll have a 5th one here pretty soon for the end of stage 2. So this race has been at a pretty slow pace so far. But honestly, I mean, the action when we have had green flag racing has been unbeatable, like elite for the truck series. This has been must-watch action. Definitely try and catch a replay of this race if you can. NASCAR usually uploads the replays of these races a couple of days after they have completed. We are thinking about getting a new microphone for the channel, guys. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. What should we upgrade first? Should we try and upgrade the camera quality, or should we try and upgrade mic quality first? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? You guys hit that like button if you haven't already. Appreciate everyone watching. We're almost up to 40 likes. Hit that like button, guys. I appreciate it. Mark, no problem. Robin, would you like to be a pit reporter or announcer one day? I mean, maybe if the opportunity presented itself. But I wouldn't say that's necessarily... It's not something that I wouldn't want to do by any means. I just feel like it's a pretty tricky path to get to that position. And I think I want to be involved in the industry in some capacity. T-Van, you live about an hour away from Indianapolis Speedway. Never really been an open wheel racing fan, man. I mean, personally, even though I'm a NASCAR fan, I do also really enjoy IndyCar. Just, I hate that they schedule the races at like the same times. I know it is pretty tricky because, I mean, there's only so much time on a Sunday afternoon. And it kind of forces American motorsports fans to choose between IndyCar and NASCAR. And most of the people choose NASCAR. But yeah, Robin, hey, if you know somebody, hey, you can let them know about me. Let them know about me. Yeah, who knows, Robin? Maybe even that. T-Van, I'm not quite sure yet. Not quite sure. Ball, you like everything, though, from NASCAR Formula E to WC to rallying, etc. Yeah, I mean, I try to keep track of all motorsports as best I can. Honestly, I feel like the only two that I really follow are IndyCar, Formula 1, and NASCAR. I keep tabs on IMSA. I'll watch any other motorsport, rally or whatever when it's on TV, but those are really the only four that I keep much true tabs on. I know, Mark. I know. Oh, that's really cool, Robin. Yeah, no, honestly, for me, I mean, who knows? I might get a go-kart or something this summer to play around with. We'll see. Anyways, we're about to get the restart here. Ben Rhodes on the outside, Carson Osifar on the inside with 8 to go in stage number 2. This is about to get real interesting, ladies and gents. Carson Osifar spins the tires just a bit, but he's going to have the advantage through the restart zone. But Ben Rhodes is getting a great push from Zane Smith down into turn 1. Where is everybody going to go? Kyle Busch continues to push Carson Osifar, and Osifar will surge out to the lead that inside line with a good run off of turn 2. Your top 3 are almost clear. Here comes Christian Eckes making things 3 wide once again at the front of the field. He's going to split Tanner Gray in the middle. Osifar leads Kyle Busch and Ben Rhodes off of turn 4. Those are your top 3. Meanwhile, back in the back there, dicing things up 3 wide, 3 rows deep there for a little bit. And now Ben Rhodes going to make a move to the outside of Kyle Busch for second place as they come off of turn number 2. Put Ben Rhodes up into second. And here comes Christian Eckes following through on the outside line. And the caution is back out with 7 to go. And, the 0-2 of Chris Wright with quite a bit of damage on the back end. It looks very similar to the 45 incident. Just a bit of damage on the back end. Actually, he's got quite a bit more damage than the 45 does, though. That I do not know if that's going to be enough that you can repair. And now Sanchez will get back on the lead lap, but I'm not sure if we are going to go back green flag racing here with only 6 to go in the stage. I don't know. We might get green for another lap. Probably not more than just 1 or 2 green flag laps racing here. But this is our 5th caution of the night already. And we have seen a lot of great green flag racing, but we've just seen so many cautions. I just want us to have like one, like maybe like 10, 20 lap green flag run here to see what really happens at the front of the field. John, yeah, that'd be really cool. Ball, you think it's easier for Europeans to like a lot more formats because of the international nature of F1? I hear you're saying, Ball, Lightning McDonough, these cautions are getting ridiculous. I know. These cautions are, I mean, the racing's fantastic, but the cautions are just starting to drag out so long. I would honestly say, though, this race, the green flag action, so far, has been like my favorite race, I would actually say, of 2023. This so far has been my favorite race of the season. Just the amount of actual like passing that's been able to happen near the front of the field. And with pit road open here, a lot of guys coming to pit road. I think the mindset here is if you pit, you're going to stay out at the end of the stage and then cycle back to the lead. So a lot of the guys that don't care as much about the stage points, like Kyle Busch, for instance, who is only running part-time. He's just trying to win. Zane Smith, who already has a win, he just really cares about the win. And those guys there that are the guys that are thinking about the win right now, they're coming to pit road. The guys that have a value on the stage points, they're hitting pit road right now. Yeah, Kyle Busch will win the race off of pit road. Of the guys that came down here, there's about 15 or so trucks that decide to pit for tires here right before the end of the stage. Lightning, they're getting loose. It gets slamming into the wall nonstop. Well, it's that, and they're just kind of just trying to go 3 wide here at the back of the pack, and some of these guys maybe don't necessarily have the talent or car control to do that. Dean Jallo, gotta watch MotoGP if you like motorsports. I would, it's just, I don't know if I have the time to throw that in there as well. And I don't know if I have the TV coverage. Give you a rain caution over a stage caution. Do you not like the stage cautions? I don't totally mind them. I guess I would agree. I would like it if they did get rid of the stage. I don't know if I can say would like to get rid of the stage cautions. What I really wish is if they just have like an actual stage format. Like every race, it was like 25%, 25%, 50% was the stages, or like just some set number, rather than it being like sometimes like stage 2 will be longer than stage 3, or like stage 1 is something, and then stage 2 is like each stage length is its own different length, and that just gets really confusing. Well, I've never really been into bike racing, or not that I don't like it. I just never really had time to get into it, like I've said. And I also feel like, I don't know, I just feel like that to me it looks very terrifying. Looking at the poll right now, 70% of you guys say Kyle Busch, 13% say Ty Majeski, 13% say Ross Chastain, 7% say Carson Hocevar. I'm going to end the poll right there. We'll put up a new poll in the chat. I'll keep Kyle Busch up there. And then I feel like I've definitely got to add some of the other guys that have been in the mix tonight. Kyle Busch, obviously, but Ty Majeski I feel like also deserves to be in the poll. But yeah, I'd say Busch, Majeski, Eckes, who else? Busch, Majeski, Eckes. I'm trying to think. I guess, and then Hocevar is leading right now, so I'll put Hocevar. Here's your updated running order after pit stops. Also, let me know, are you guys seeing any lag right now? T. Van, what year did I get in NASCAR? I got into NASCAR in 2014, was like when I really started paying attention. Like week to week following. So, and then I would say, I don't know when I first really started even know what NASCAR was as a kid. But I just liked the number 42 Target car. I just liked the red. And so then obviously the first year I started following number 42 Target car, Kyle Larson rookie season. So kind of was a Kyle Larson fan ever since. Let me know, guys, are you guys experiencing any lag on your ends? My computer is about to die on my end, or at least it's acting like that. So maybe that's what we should upgrade next. Not camera or mic. Maybe computer. Because I think it might have just crashed. So let me know on your guys' end. Are you guys experiencing the same technical difficulties? No, Dad, check and see if my stream's working. Because this computer's literally dying. But we are about to get going. Green flag racing here with just 2 to go in the stage. It's going to be a shootout at the front of the field. Hocevar on the inside, Rhodes on the outside, then Infinger on the inside of row 2, Purdy on the outside. About to get green flag racing here. I'm looking for the first truck on fresh tires. First guy on fresh tires is probably Kyle Busch. So your top 13 all on old tires. Here we are. Green flag racing back out. 2 to go in stage number 2. Hocevar on the inside, Rhodes on the outside. A good restart for Hocevar down low. Hocevar gets a good push from Infinger. Rhodes has no help from behind. DiBenedetto goes to the outside, 3 wide. Hocevar is going to slide up to try and block Rhodes off of turn 2. He's going to squeeze the 99, but he won't be able to pull off the block. They're 4 wide down the back straightaway. Craftsman down low. It's not going to work. Hocevar somehow stays out front. Then Rhodes in second. They're still 3 wide for third. Matt DiBenedetto on the outside making it work. Hocevar out front, Rhodes in second, DiBenedetto, Purdy, Craftsman 3 wide there. Craftsman going to lose some ground here as they go into turn 1, but Hocevar stays out front, Rhodes in second. He's up the track. Oh, somebody's up the track there back in the pack, but they keep it together. Oh my goodness, how are these guys hanging on to it? Here you have, oh, we got a crash, Deegan around. So is a 17. I think that's a 41 with damage. And Hocevar will win stage 2 under caution. And I said the one thing Deegan needed to do tonight was finish the race. But it looks like she got turned around in the beehive right there. And the 17 with a lot of damage. That may not be the 13 that was in the inside wall, but it looked like that was the 13. Hocevar wins stage 2. Rhodes second. DiBenedetto gets third places in both the stages here tonight. Good points run for that 25. Purdy, Infinger, Craftsman, Caruth gets another bunch of solid stage points. Gralla, Tanner Gray, Majeski are top 10. Then Gutierrez, Kyle Busch, Eckes, Heim, Chastain, Friesen, Garcia, Ankrum, Thompson, Zane Smith, your top 20. And they're trying to tape up that 17. And I mean, it looks like they might be able to get it back out there, but he's got quite a bit of damage. They were like 4 wide, or maybe even 2 rows deep there. And somebody, I think Deegan was on old tires, and I think she just got turned from behind by somebody. We still have not seen a replay yet. I think Deegan might have actually had pretty hard contact to that inside wall in the back straightaway. But as they go into turn 1, they're 4 wide here. Gray, there's something like Gutierrez, Majeski, Eckes jumps to the outside. I mean, guys on old tires kind of getting overrun by guys trying to move fast on fresh tires. Then down the back straightaway, the 17 just comes up the racetrack, I think, and pinches the 13. And then, yeah, the 17 spins around to the outside. 13 actually doesn't have that much damage. She just kind of scrapes the inside wall. I actually think Deegan should be okay here. I think the 17 actually gets the worst of this. It's hard to tell from that angle, but they're 4 wide. But at the top, the 17 the 17 comes up and clears himself on the nose of the 13, I think. Well, the 19's all the way up against the wall. Then you have the 13 and then the 17. And either the 17 doesn't realize he has 2 cars to the outside. We need to see like a head-on shot here. This is not a good angle. You can't see enough here. Either way, they're 3 wide, really tight confines. It's probably somebody just slightly tapped somebody else, and that just caused a chain reaction. But really crazy that only 2 trucks have a lot of damage here. Maybe this will be a better angle. I think this will be the angle we're looking for. Okay, yeah, the 17 comes up and crowd. Okay, here's guys, high-tech demonstration here. High-tech demonstration. We're going to break it down for you. So this is the 17 in Nemechek. That's the 99. And then this is Deegan in the middle. And then this is Eckes up top, minding his own business. 3 wide down the back straightaway. The 99 comes up, doesn't touch Deegan, but crowds her. Then Deegan moves up, but she doesn't have anywhere to go. She moves up, touches Eckes, and then comes down. The 17 is still moving up, touches Deegan, and then Deegan and Nemechek just go spinning. So I kind of blame Nemechek there. I think Deegan overreacts to Nemechek coming up the racetrack. But Nemechek basically, if he was about to just crash them all into the outside wall. I mean, he was about an inch off the door of Deegan. Yeah, that's where I guess you kind of just have to stand in the pocket and take it almost like you're a quarterback about to get sacked. I really don't know how to describe the best advice to give to Hailie Deegan there, but just a two-truck crash, really. Just Deegan in the 17 just kind of goes spinning. The 17 kind of goes, backs it into the outside wall, and then Deegan comes down the racetrack and kind of slaps it, I think, passenger side. So, like, she gets spun around backwards, slaps it passenger side on the inside wall, but I don't think she has that much significant damage. The 17 actually, I think, got the short end of the stick there. Yeah, Deegan should have held her line, actually, I should say. I kind of agree. Here, we'll put up a poll. Whose fault is this? Whose fault is it? We'll put up a new poll. Who's at fault? Is it Nemechek or Deegan? Who's at fault? I would say, like, Deegan, I guess, could have held her line, and it might have barely worked out. But Nemechek just comes up and just crowds, and it's such tight confines that. But yeah, I just feel the thing is for Deegan is like I just feel bad. Like she crashes out so much, and it's really not her fault very often. It's just. I mean, yeah, if you are running like kind of back in the mid-pack, then you are exposed to those chain reaction events, but it's almost as if she is caught up in every single one of those chain reaction events. I think I just totally like misspelled Nemechek. I did. Nemechek? I misspelled Nemechek. I don't care. Here, I know. I gotta do better than this. No, I don't. I think Nemechek, they're going to try and keep that 17 truck out there, but he's done for the day. He's not going to be competitive. He might finish the race, but he's not going to be competitive. The 13 of Deegan, it's hard to tell how much damage she got. She got looped around backwards and slapped the inside wall, but it actually looked like she's able to drive away from it. I don't know if there's like much suspension damage or anything under the hood that you can't see. Okay, I think Deegan's done. Okay. Because now it shows she's 4 laps down. So, yeah, Deegan's done, it looks like. Nemechek most likely done as well. Also, Chris Wright, who's involved in one of those early incidents, he's 3 laps down. Free pass from all this was the number 2 of Nick Sanchez. So he is back on the lead lap. But, wow. Okay. After all that chaos, now you have Josh Rayum, Brett Holmes, Brendan Poole, and we'll see if we can get an update. I think probably, yeah, Hailie Deegan, John Nemechek in the garage. So 5 trucks done for the night. And I think the 04 of Caden Honeycutt might also have some sort of issues. He's now dropped 3 laps down on the leaderboard. And, man, through all this, we are still not even halfway. Thanks to everybody watching right now. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it. We got 60 people in here. We are gotten 2 new subscribers. I appreciate it. 3 new subscribers. 22 subscribers away from 3,400, guys. Let's get it. We have 22 subs from 3,400 right now. Looking at the poll, majority of you guys are going Deegan, about 70 to 30 right now. Interested to see where that poll goes. Closing in on 1,000 viewers on the night, guys. I really appreciate it. The lights are out on the pace truck, so we're going to be going green here to start stage number 3. And also, guys, yeah, for what it is worth, this stream is now the 11th biggest stream of 2023. I appreciate it. So, You have the number 1 truck on the inside, driven by Kaz Gralla. To his outside, Tanner Gray, who started out back at the beginning of the night. Those 2 trucks will be leading us to green on row 2. The number 51 of Kyle Busch and the number 19 of Christian Eckes on row 3, Heim and Chastain. Then the guys, Carson Osvar, who won the stage, he had to pit. He'll start 13th. Green flag back in the air. A good restart for the 1 truck down low. Tanner Gray spins the tires up top. We've seen the bottom line get away better than the top side quite a few times tonight. Here they are into turn 1, your top 4, driving away from the rest of the pack. They're going to be side-by-side off of turn 2. Tanner Gray has good momentum on the top side, and he's actually going to beat the 1 truck down the back straightaway. Now here comes some of the other trucks with the big run. Carson Osvar already up to 8th after starting 13th. And now here goes Eckes to the outside of Tanner Gray, making it 3 wide for second place for a moment. They're 3 wide. Kyle Busch on the inside, Gray in the middle, Eckes up top. And Tanner Gray's going to come out the loser through all this, as Eckes is going to move up into the second position. He's not quite clear yet, though, as they come off at turn number 2. The number 19 truck is sparking down the back straightaway. How are they staying 3 wide so much tonight? Kyle Busch down low, Tanner Gray in the middle. Corey Heim is showing his face at the front for the first time tonight, really. And now Eckes is finally cleared for second place from at least Tanner Gray. Now Kyle Busch is going to fight the 19 truck for the second spot, and he will take it. Kyle Busch back up to second, and he looks to the inside of Gralla into turn 1. And Kyle Busch is your new leader at Las Vegas. Eckes in third, Tanner Gray side-by-side with Heim for 5th on the track, and Heim's going to take that spot. Now Eckes going to go to the inside of Gralla into turn number 3. Gralla going to lose that spot, and Heim also going to go by Gralla on the inside off of turn 4. Your top 10 right now: Busch, Eckes, Heim, Gralla, Gray, Thompson, Rhodes, Hocevar, Chastain, and Zane Smith. But Eckes has been having a great run tonight. He is not going to let Kyle Busch just run away with this one. Eckes staying right on the bumper of the 51 down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, just outside the top 10, they are still dicing things up 2 and 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Stuart Friesen, who was a lap down at one point, has worked his way back near the top 15. So yeah, some guys who had to pit there at the end of the stage for fresh tires, trying to fight their way back to the front like Carson Osvar. And Kyle Busch has grown his lead up to 0.2 of a second. That might actually be his biggest lead of the night, believe it or not. Then Gralla half a second off the lead in third. Tanner Gray second off the lead in fourth. Zane Smith and Carson Osvar side by side for 8th place on the racetrack, and Zane Smith's going to take that 8th spot away from Hocevar's. Now he's trying to go by Ben Rhodes as well. Down the front straightaway, the 38 to the inside of the 99. Into turn 1, Zane Smith with a slight advantage over Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes is going to have that momentum on the outside, but he can't quite hold on to his truck, and Zane Smith with the better handling race car is going to take 7th spot away from the 99, but the 99 is going to go for the crossover into turn 3. The 99 down low, the 38 up top. The 99 is going to be able to pull off that slider. Now here comes Hocevar back to the inside of Zane Smith, looking to regain that A spot on the racetrack. Man, if this track race is anything like this on Sunday, oh, this is going to be one memorable race. Ross Chastain, though, making an unscheduled pit stop. That 41 coming down pit road here under green. Now it sounds like they have some sort of engine issue. Engine is running hot right now. And they're going to pop the hood on that number 41 truck here with 62 laps to go. And now the 35 of Garcia going to go by DiBenedetto for 11th off of turn 4. Majeski up to 13th as he gets by Purdy. And Busch's lead now up to 0.3 of a second over Eckes. Gralla a second and a half back in third. He's getting some pressure from Corey Heim right now. Zane Smith and Hocevar still battling for 8th place on the racetrack. Hocevar on the outside, Zane Smith on the inside. Matt Crafton starting to enter this battle. And at the front of the field, Corey Heim going to go by Kaz Gralla for 3rd down the front straightaway. Or I spoke too soon. Gralla's going to have that run on the top side, and he'll stay side by side with Heim through turns 1 and 2. That one truck really struggling for pace right now, though. Heim's going to try and pull off the slide job. Not going to be there. Into turn 3. The 11 still on the inside of the 1. The 1 trying to pinch that 11 truck down there, trying to side draft him, and it's working. Heim not able to clear the 1 truck once again, this time off of turn 4. Now Heim going to side draft Gralla into turn 1. And he's going to be able to make the most of that opportunity, and it looks like Heim's finally going to get by Gralla here for 3rd place. But he lost about a second to the leaders while engaging in that fight. Meanwhile, behind him, Ben Rhodes has gotten by Tanner Gray for 5th. And Kyle Busch is leading now up to half a second over Eckes, 2.5 seconds over Kaz Gralla and Corey Heim. Yeah, last time by, Kyle Busch at least a 10th or 2/10 of a second faster than anybody else on the racetrack. And Zane Smith has been able to drive away from Carson Osavar, who is now under pressure from Matt Crafton, Max Garcia, and Matt DiBenedetto. Or actually, Jake Garcia, not Max Garcia, my bad. And Ty Majeski trying to work his way back to the front after having to pit there at the end of the stage. And he is back up to 12th position on the racetrack. And Chastain has now lost 2 laps on the racetrack. Also, Nemechek back out on the track, but he is 6 laps down, so pretty much out of contention. And thank you to everybody watching right now. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We are just 22 subscribers away from 3,400 here at Freeman Motorsports. Yeah, T-Man, you're impressed by Jake Garcia right now. Yeah, Garcia, he impressed me in the couple of starts he had last year. I think he's going to make some noise this season. Here they are coming down the back straightaway. Kyle Busch still leads. His lead is now at the biggest it's been all night. But thanks to everybody watching right now. And this stream, for what it's worth, is closing in on being one of the top 10 streams of 2023. I appreciate it. Kyle Busch is walking the dog. What do you mean by that? You mean he's just walking it out on there on everybody? Just prancing ahead? Meanwhile, Dean Thompson is having a solid run, I would say, right now in that number 5. Oh, it looks like, actually, I take that back. He was running in 6th just a moment ago, but now he's fallen outside of the top 10 as he's getting passed by Jake Garcia and Chase Purdy. Your top 10 right now: Busch, Eckes, Heim, Rhodes, Gralla, Zane Smith, Gray, Hocevar, Crafton, and DiBenedetto. Your field the most spread out it's been all night. Busch's lead 2.5 seconds over Eckes and still growing. Heim 4 seconds off the lead in 3rd. He's under pressure, though, from Ben Rhodes. I think this is our longest green flag run of the night as well. Now, everybody is going to have to pit once in this final stage. I'm not quite sure what the fuel window is. I think it's about 50 laps, I'd imagine. Ball, it means he has to stop every 5 minutes while the dog stops to sniff at all the lampposts. I guess that's one way of interpreting it. Matt DiBenedetto's got a run on Ty Majeski and to turn down the back straightaway. The 98 kind of slipped off the bottom of the racetrack there. Carson Osavar under pressure from Tanner Gray for the 7th position, or I actually think he just got by Tanner Gray. Zane Smith taking 5th away from Kaz Gralla down the front straightaway. And I had just mentioned Kyle Busch's lead was 2.5 seconds, and it's already up to 3.5 seconds over Eckes. The only driver whose lap times right now I think are somewhat similar to Kyle Busch's are Ben Rhodes. And Ben Rhodes right now trying to pass Corey Heim for 3rd place on the racetrack. Tanner Gray under pressure from Ty Majeski and Matt DiBenedetto. Majeski to the inside of the 15 off of turn 4. Yeah, right now the dominant line is just at the bottom of the racetrack. On the restart, both the inside line and the outside line can work to pass. Yeah, right now it's just you want to be able to stick the bottom. And if you lose that bottom line and you slip off the ground, you're going to lose about a tenth or two of a second just in one set of turns. And that really opens the door for you to get freight trained on the inside. Kyle Busch continues to pull away from the field. Last time by, he ran a 30.7, and nobody else was even, or no, Carson Hocevar ran a 30.7. Other than Hocevar, nobody else was even in the 30s on the racetrack. He was 0.3 of a second faster than just about everybody else. Wow. I mean, it's not a surprise. The man has won in almost 40% of his Truck Series starts. And good everyone watching right now. Christian Eckes, though, is definitely kind of my shout-out drive of the night. You know, he replaced Derek Kraus in that 19 truck this season. Kraus almost won for that team a couple of times last year, but came up just short. Got the boot for Eckes in the offseason. And I was kind of disappointed in that move, but actually I take it back now. I'm eating those words because Eckes so far tonight has shown he has definitely got what it takes. I definitely give another shout out though to both to Jake Garcia. He's run inside the top 10 and inside the top 15 for pretty much the entire night. Also, Nick Sanchez, after getting quite severe damage on the right side of that race truck, and he dropped all the way to 2 laps down because of all the cautions, he's back on the lead lap and currently runs in the 19th position. So, I mean, I think Sanchez actually may still have a shot at a top 10 here. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Kyle Busch starting to work some lap traffic as he goes around Spencer Boyd. Next up would be Lawless Allen, Mason Massey, Timmy Hill, some of the guys for him to put a lap down. And Corey Heim's going to finally get passed by Ben Rhodes, and Zane Smith also going to go around Corey Heim on the outside. Corey Heim losing 2 spots in just one set of turns there. That's a tough break for the 11 truck. He falls back to 5th. Now I'm interested to see, now that Rhodes and Zane Smith have passed at 11, I want to compare their lap times to Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is leading now up to 4.5 seconds over Christian Eckes. That 19 truck is definitely starting to fall off the pace a bit. Also, Kaz Gralla, I feel like, is probably out of falling out of the top 10 here. That one truck's starting to struggle as this long run goes on. And the 19 working his way around the lap number 12 truck off of turn number 4. And with 45 to go in this race, Kyle Busch led early on. He had to fight out Nick Sanchez and some others for the lead. Then he had a bad pit stop at the end of stage 1. Had to work his way from the back to the front. And then with all the cautions and different strategies working out through the field, he kind of got shuffled around in the mid-pack for a while here. But then to start off the final stage was easily able to surge out to the lead and has just driven away from the field ever since. Does anybody have anything for Kyle Busch? I don't think Kyle Busch is necessarily the most dominant truck here tonight by any means. I think if we get a restart with only about 10 to go, I would definitely say there are quite a few other trucks that can compete with him on the short run. But I think on the long run, yeah, if this thing runs green to the finish, I don't see anybody catching up to Kyle Busch unless his pit crew makes a mistake on pit road once again. Also, Chase Purdy's gotten by Jake Garcia for 10th place on the racetrack. And Carson Hocevar breathing down on the number 1 at Kaz Gralla. Yeah, that one truck right now, he's running about 2/10 slower than just about anybody else in the top 10. Struggling for pace here a little bit. Zane Smith's caught up to the bumper of Ben Rhodes. These guys have been running nose to tail for quite a while now. I just don't know if the 38 really has what it takes to actually get around this 99, but they have both caught up to the 19, so this might allow an opportunity for the 38 to get another 2-for-1 move. Rhodes to the inside of Kraus to the inside of Eckes down the front straightaway. Eckes holding his own on the top side, and Rhodes gets loose down low. He's up the racetrack just a bit. That might allow an opportunity for Zane Smith to have a run on him down the back straightaway. It's not going to be enough, though. 2nd through 4th all run nose to tail into turn 3, And Eckes going to drive it in really deep on the inside. He's going to be able to easily slide up in front of the 19. The 19 boxed in behind the slow truck of the 45. And that is going to allow Zane Smith to also be able to quickly work his way by the number 19. But he might be boxed in by a lap truck down low. It's still not going to be enough. And Christian Eckes is going to drop to fourth. I keep wanting to say Derek Kraus is in that 19. Anyways, it's Busch, Rhodes, Zane Smith, your top three now. Kraus is drop. I just did it again. Eckes back to fourth. Then Heim rounds out your top five. Gralla, Majeski, Hocevar, DiBenedetto, Purdy, your top 10. Now I'm interested to see how do Rhodes and Busch's lap times compare here. Last time at the line, Kyle Busch a tenth of a second faster than Ben Rhodes with 40 to go in this one. Now 39 to go as they come across the line. And they're going to cut to commercial break. Green flag pit stops, I would imagine, are going to be coming up here pretty soon. Meanwhile, Ty Majeski is going to have a run to the outside of Kaz Gralla at the line, and he's going to go by Gralla on the outside. That's for sixth place. Hocevar also right in this battle. Zane Smith going to make a move to the inside of Rhodes. Rhodes was way up the racetrack there off of turn 2. I don't know if that was just of his own doing or if he maybe got a bump from that 38. But either way, Zane Smith now takes over the second position. Now Hocevar putting the pressure on Kaz Gralla. Matt DiBenedetto has also kind of entered this fight. Gralla slips off the bottom of the racetrack off of turn 4, and that's going to allow Hocevar and DiBenedetto just to fly right on by. I previously mentioned you have to be able to stick to the inside of the racetrack to hold on to your track position, and just like that, Gralla lost it there off of turn 4, and he's going to probably lose 3 spots here as Chase Purdy goes to the outside of the one truck off of turn 2. Yeah, and just like that, Kaz Gralla has dropped all the way back to 10th, and Chase Purdy now looking for more as he goes to the inside of Matt DiBenedetto. He's making it 3 wide with the lapped car. Now that pass isn't going to stick, but this Ford truck looking pretty strong right here. And Kyle Busch starting to put the field a lap down. He just put Jimmy Hill lap down. The next truck for him to lap is Stuart Friesen, who's running in the 21st position. Stuart has really struggled all night. Definitely not what they're looking for in that 52 truck. At the front of the field, though, last time by, once again, Kyle Busch a tenth of a second faster than just about anybody else on the racetrack. Corey Heim was the only one that was faster. And now this time by, Kyle Busch will run. Oh, I actually take it back. This time by, Zane Smith runs about a tenth and a half faster than Kyle Busch. And Stuart Friesen is down pit road. And I would imagine that this is just, they're trying to early pit here. That 52 truck's been struggling, so they're just trying to get off strategy. Maybe it'll work out for him. But this might open the window for green flag pit stops with 35 to go. And Corey Heim now going by Derek Kraus for 4th place. As they go into, Oh, Carson Hocevar comes to pit road, but it looks like he locked up the tires big time trying to get there. A lot of smoke came out of the back of that race truck as he came down pit road. Hopefully he was able to make pit road speed there. And now they're going to come back from the side-by-side commercial break. Kyle Busch still with the 5.7 second lead over Zane Smith. Then Rhodes, Heim, Majeski, your top 5. Hocevar, the first of your leaders to decide to hit pit road. We'll see if that opens the floodgates. And now here comes Christian Eckes, who'd been losing time for quite a while now. He's in to make his pit stop, his final pit stop of the day if this thing were to go green to the finish. And Hocevar's going to come out on pit road. It'll be interesting to see where does he merge out with the rest of the field after he came down pit road a couple of laps early. To give you perspective, there's not a ton of tire fall off, but it's probably about a second to a second and a half this far into the run. That's about the tire fall off in terms of the amount of fall off in lap time. So if you were to come about a lap or two sooner, that could make you up about a second to 2 seconds on the racetrack. Wallace Allen, Dean Thompson in to make their pit stops. And Kyle Busch is going to stay out once again this time by with 32 to go. Now Kaz Gralla in to make his final stop. Yeah, anybody that's coming to pit road right now, they're just hoping we don't get a caution and they're pinned a lap down. Okay, so Kyle Busch is leading now up to 6 seconds over Zane Smith. Matt Craftsman will hit pit road, then Rhodes, Heim, Majeski, your top 5. Purdy, DiBenedetto, Garcia, Infinger, Sanchez, your top 10. Also, Nemechek is now falling 11 laps down. Wright is 7 laps down. Massey, 4 down. Chastain, 4 down. Honeycutt, 4 down. All those guys have had issues tonight. Allen also 4 down. Zane Smith will pit from the second position, and I think this might force Kyle Busch's hand, but we will see. How long does he decide to stay out there on the racetrack? And also, Kyle Busch's pit crew, they made a mistake on his first pit stop of the day. Even just making a little small pit stop mistake here that may cost you just 1 second on the racetrack. That is going to make a big difference. Hopefully, though, he can bank on that 5-second lead that he brought to pit road, and that'll be enough to cover up the distance. But right now, to give you perspective, Kyle Busch ran at 31.9 last time by, and Ben Rhodes on fresh tires, or well, he's not up to speed yet. Carson Hocevar on fresh tires ran at 30.3. So he was 2 seconds faster than Kyle Busch, and Kyle Busch will come to pit road with 30 to go. And Ben Rhodes has also made his pit stop. Only about 5 or so trucks have not pitted yet. And now we'll see. Is this going to be a smooth stop for the 51? It's going to be 4 tires and fuel to make it to the finish here. Ty Majeski also into pit from second. And it looks like things going pretty smooth so far for the 51 truck. And it looks like they're going to drop the jack and things go smoothly. So we'll see where he merges out after all this happens. He had that 6-second lead coming to pit road. So where is he relative to Zane Smith on the racetrack when he comes back out? Tanner Gray, Daniel Dye are the only 2 trucks that have not pitted yet. And Ty Majeski's out of his pit stall, so is Matt DiBenedetto. And Kyle Busch will merge onto the racetrack. And where is Zane Smith? I don't even see him. So it looks like Kyle Busch is easily going to be able to stay out front. Now Tanner Gray in to make his stop, so that leaves just Daniel Dye to make a stop. Oh, it looks like Kaz Gralla with a speeding penalty on pit road. Man, that's going to throw away a top 10 run for that team. Tough break for Kaz Gralla. A slow stop there a bit for the 15, but now Ben Rhodes and Zane Smith battling on the racetrack for 4th place, but will be second after pit stop cycled through. Ben Rhodes to the inside of Zane Smith, but there's a slow car in his way. He's up the track. He's almost sideways. He's able to hold on to it. Zane Smith on the outside, Ben Rhodes on the inside, and Zane Smith will hold on to that spot for now. Wow, that was close. But okay, Kyle Busch's lead grew through green flag pit stop somehow. Now his lead is up to 8 seconds over the rest of the field. Yeah, Kyle Busch, he is cruising to victory at this rate. Now Zane Smith is in the second position after pit stop cycle through. Rhodes in 3rd, Hyman 4th. Eckes 5th, Hocevar 6th, Majeski 7th, Purdy 8th, Crafton 9th, and Infinger would round out your top 10 after pit stop cycled through here. Just Daniel Dye, Timmy Hill, I think those are, and Colby Howard are the only 3 trucks that have not pitted yet. But Stuart Friesen's early pit strategy, I think, did work out for him. He's picked up at least 5 spots so far. With 25 to go in the final stage here, things have really calmed down since early on. But a caution would really spice things up. And Rajah Caruth is coming back down pit road, and it looks like he has gotten into the outside wall. Damage to the right rear corner panel. Tough break for Rajah. He started outside the top 20 and worked his way back into the top 5. Oh, and it looks like he was made damage with the number 2 of Sanchez. So Sanchez had also come back from his damage, and there's more damage on the left front of the 2 and damage to the right rear of the 24. So I'd have to imagine those 2 trucks got together at some point. We'll see if we can get a replay, but it looks like Sanchez is going to the garage, and Caruth's going to lose at least a couple laps here as he has to come down pit road to repair that damage. Dye, Busch, Zane Smith, Rhodes, Heim, your top 5. But Dye is now coming in to make his pit stop, and this will complete the pit stop cycle. So Kyle Busch now leads over Zane Smith and Ben Rhodes. His lead is 7 seconds right now. Zane Smith last time by ran basically a dead even lap time with Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch has led over half of the laps so far tonight. But now your current top 10, Busch, Zane Smith, Rhodes, Heim, Eckes, Hocevar, Majeski, Purdy, Infinger, and Garcia. Then Craftsman, DiBenedetto, Friesen, Gray, Thompson, Ankrum, your top 15, I believe. Looking at the chat, thanks to everybody watching. Hey, Mark. How you doing? T-Man, how you guys doing? Looking back at the chat. I don't think we're going to hit the goal here tonight, Kenneth. Hey, we're up to 3,379, though. I do appreciate it. Just 21 subs away from 3,400. 21 subs away. Thanks, everybody watching. Hopefully we can hit it on Sunday. Yeah, if you're a fan of Chevrolet, you'll be happy with Kyle Busch out front right now, even though it probably wouldn't be the case last year when he was driving in that Toyota. But he is just driven away from the field. As he is now putting Matt DiBenedetto a lap down, who currently runs in 12th on the racetrack with 20 to go. At this rate, Kyle Busch might even lap into the top 10. Kenneth, I probably will not be doing the Xfinity Series stream tomorrow. I will be out of town. Yeah, everybody, I think if you're not Kyle Busch, you'll want to see a caution. So Zane Smith continuing to hold on to that track position. He's in second, but Ben Rhodes keeping the pressure on that 38. And, I mean, Kyle Busch, whoa! The 51 almost wrecked it there, running to the inside of the 25, trying to put Matt DiBenedetto a lap down. Everything almost just went down the tubes for Kyle Busch. And that's going to cost him about a second on the track right there. That's going to allow Zane Smith to get a little bit of hope here with 19 to go. Kyle Busch on the inside of Matt DiBenedetto. He just gets way loose and almost wrecks himself and DiBenedetto off of turn 2. He somehow holds on to it. But that shrinks his lead down to 6.5 seconds with 18 to go. I just think time's running out for Zane Smith. It's going to almost take a miracle for him to catch up to the 51 truck. Whew. Yeah, still only 12 trucks on the lap. Stuart Friesen currently holds the free pass position in 13th. And only 19 trucks within 1 lap of your leader. 20th is 2 laps down. And Kyle Busch, though, is already growing his lead once again. Its lead is back up to 7 seconds in just 2 laps. That 51 truck is just unbeatable, man. It's just unbeatable. I had hope for a little bit that somebody might be able to get up there and duke it out with Kyle. But I just had a bit too much hope, man. That's all I can say. With 16 to go, last time by, it's going to take a caution for things to get interesting for the battle for the lead. But the battle for second is still on. Zane Smith and Ben Rhodes have been going at it for quite a while now. And Infinger and Garcia are getting pretty close in 9th and 10th. Craftsman also inching in on that battle. And now Zane Smith has fallen almost 7.5 seconds off of Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is setting sail. Thanks, Robin. Thanks, Kenneth. Appreciate the compliments. My thoughts about Josh Berry filling in for Chase Elliott. I think it's a great opportunity for Josh Berry. I wouldn't be surprised if he runs top 10, but that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if he runs 25th or 30th. He's never run a next-gen car before, so I don't have high expectations for him, but he will have practice and qualifying in that car this weekend, so That being said, at least he will have some experience in the car before the race on Sunday. But yeah, I don't have very high expectations for him. I think this is an opportunity for Josh Berry to surprise everybody. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But if he goes out there and runs top 10, hey, people are like, oh, Josh Berry. Okay, I'll write that name down. And now Kyle Busch just finally put Matt DiBenedetto a lap down with 13 to go. He was just driven away from the rest of the field. But Ben Rhodes and Zane Smith, the battle is still alive for second place on the racetrack. And Jake Garcia trying to catch up to Grant Infinger for ninth on the racetrack. Woo! Yeah, Kyle is in another zip code. Yeah, this is like an NFL team playing a college football team. It's just a different level exactly. Only 11 cars still on the lead lap. Only 18 trucks are even within 2 laps of the lead. And he might even lap up into the top 10 here if we're not careful. But your top 5 right now, Kyle Busch, Zane Smith, Rhodes, Heim, Eckes. All those guys had great runs tonight. Heim doing a good job of slowly working his way forward. He never really was in the battle for the lead, but he's able to work his way through some of these incidents that have affected a lot of the front runners at times, and so he's going to get a top 5 result. But I think this is a great run for anybody that's Rhodes, Majeski, Eckes especially. Those guys all have to feel really confident in their equipment after this. Even guys that maybe don't get the results that they deserved. Sanchez, I'd be really confident in what you brought to the racetrack. That's just one example right there. Rajah Caruth as well. And it looks like Caruth also had to call it quits after that damage that he must have got. We never got a replay of that, but it appears that Sanchez and Caruth must have gotten together on the racetrack, and their nights are both done. So we are just left with 28 cars in the race at this time, and only 11 on the lead lap, like I'm saying. Well, last time by, Zane Smith, I don't know if the leaderboard just glitched out. Zane Smith had made up 0.2 of a second on Kyle Busch. It's quite a bit of time. But with 9 to go, he's going to have to pick up a lot more than that to catch Kyle Busch. And I have a feeling Kyle Busch might just let off there for a little bit. Woo! Okay, so Kyle Busch now leads with 8 to go. We're just clicking down the laps here before Kyle Busch can celebrate in victory lane. Phil was like, yes, please give us the caution. I can't disagree. A caution would definitely make things pretty interesting right now. But just looking at the chat, I also like to say, like I said, I will not be live at the Xfinity Series race tomorrow, or at least don't plan on it. And then I will be live though on Sunday for the Cup Series race. So make sure you guys tune in for that. We'll probably go live closer to 3 Eastern, that is. Yeah, we're trying to get to 3,400 subscribers on Sunday, then I guess that would be the goal. We're at 3,379. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We got about 60 people in here. I'd appreciate it. 7 to go. Zane Smith continues to eat into Kyle Busch's lead. It's now down under 6 seconds, but with 7 to go, he's going to have to be, now 6 to go, he's about to have to pick up a second a lap to actually catch him before the white flag. Now Jake Garcia under pressure from Matt Crafton for 10th place on the racetrack. And Garcia going to get boxed in by a lap truck there just a bit, but Crafton also affected by the lapper, so it's going to hold him off. Caruth back out on the racetrack, but he's 12 laps down. Five to go for Kyle Busch. Once again, Zane Smith takes about a half a second off Kyle Busch's lead, but half a second not enough. Half a second too late, or not half a second too late, more like 10 minutes too late. Excuse me. Well, thanks to everybody who's tuned in so far tonight. It's been a great stream, over 1,300 viewers. I appreciate it. 11th biggest stream so far of 2023. Hey, 4 to go. Are we going to see that caution flag? Fingers crossed, I guess. Purdy, I'd say, is a solid result. Even though his teammate Kyle Busch is out there winning, I would say that, solid result for Chase Purdy in that Ford truck. That's what they were trying to do. That's what they got that ride. Is that on a full-time basis? Now I can't even remember, or if it's a part-time basis. But either way, he got that ride to try and give him his best shot at winning races, to try and get his name out there. And so I'd say tonight he's had a solid run. Whew. And it looks like Garcia was able to hold off Craftsman's charge there. Two to go for Kyle Busch. He's just trying to make another mile and a half and see that white flag. I don't know. We need somebody to have... Are we going to see that caution flag as he works his way down the back straightaway? Kyle Busch is hoping not. And Kyle Busch off of turn 4. He will see the white flag in the Victoria's Voice Foundation 200 at Las Vegas. At this point, he'd probably have to blow a tire and run out of gas for somebody to catch up to him. But Kyle Busch is coasting now over Zane Smith in second, Ben Rhodes third, Heim fourth, Majeski fifth. Eckes, Hocevar, Purdy, Infinger, and Garcia round out your top 10. Only 11 trucks finish here on the lead lap here. Kyle Busch dominates in Las Vegas. And he is going to be trying to complete the sweep this weekend, as he's going to be racing again tomorrow in the Xfinity Series race and in the Cup Series race on Sunday. And I believe this is win number 63 in the NASCAR Truck Series. And he is, I believe, now up to like a 39% win rate in the NASCAR Truck Series, which is pretty insane. Well, Ball, it's a 1 out of 10 for you. I actually am going to say this race is 4 out of 10. It's a 4 out of 10. The first two stages was like an 8.5, 9 out of 10, but that final stage, Kyle Busch just checked out. We saw a couple decent battles here and there. But yeah, that final stage, I just wish it had been a little more interesting there. It seemed like early on there's so much potential, so many strong trucks, but Kyle Busch, I mean, at the end of the day, that 51 is just unbeatable. I think everybody winning as Kyle Busch burns it down on the front stretch. I see a 10 out of 10. I see some Kyle Busch fans they're loving it. I see a 20 out of 10. I see a 63. 5 out of 10. Yeah, there were some decent battles. We had those 3 wide passes for the lead. Like, that was some insane racing. But then Kyle Busch just checked down on the field. Like I said, we will be live on Sunday, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that live stream. Chris Davis rooting for Chevrolet. I mean, yeah, the people that don't like Kyle Busch, at least since most NASCAR fans are Chevrolet fans, they can at least be happy that Chevrolet's in victory lane. But yeah, here we'll go through our finishing order really quickly, and then we're going to sign off on my end. Man, the first 50 laps of this race took an hour and 15 minutes, and then the final 60, 70 laps of this race took just about 45 minutes. And it's Kyle Busch who wins by 5 seconds over Zane Smith. Ben Rhodes 7 seconds back in third. Corey Heim 10 seconds back in fourth. Ty Majeski 15 seconds back in fifth. Eckes 20 seconds back in sixth. Hocevar 21 seconds back in seventh. Purdy behind him. Then Infinger and Garcia round out your top 10. Then Matt Crafton, the last truck on lead lap in 11th. Then DeBenedetto. Gray, Friesen recovers for a top 15. And then Ankrum, your top 15. Then Thompson, Garala able to come back from that speeding penalty to get a 17th place result. Howard, Dye, who was 2 laps down, or actually no, 3 laps down at one point, finishes 19th, 2 laps down still, but he was able to get all the way back to the lead lap. But then on that long green flag run, Kyle Busch able to just run away from the field. Then Lawless Allen runs out your top 20. Then Gutierrez, Hill, Boyd, Chastain, Honeycutt your top 25. Then a lot of these guys after that had issues to some extent. Then Mills, Massey, Wright, Carruth, Sanchez your top 30. Nemechek, Deegan, Poole, Holmes, and Rayum rounds out your field. Thanks everybody watching tonight. I think I'm going to call it there. I'll see you guys on Sunday. See any last thoughts in the chat? Amazing Gamer, GG's. Ball, yeah, the commentary was more exciting than the race. I know I feel like I kind of lost a bit of energy there down the stretch, but honestly, I don't really know what there was to talk about those last 50 laps or so. Kyle Busch was just whooping it on everybody. Mark, like Kyle Busch in his post-race interview, he's like, yeah, it would have been fun if I could have raced with Zane. You know, he's off strategy. It's like he just wants to race somebody. I think, honestly, like, these are the type of wins. It's not that Kyle Busch doesn't like them by any means. Kyle Busch certainly loves winning. But I also think at this point he's won so much in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series that I think he enjoys winning, but he also enjoys competition. So that way he can also hone in his skills as a driver. Because if you just got the fastest truck, the best handling truck, and you're able to just run out there and just put down laps that are going to be 2 seconds or like half a second faster than anybody else, well, then you really don't have to compete with anybody except yourself. But then Kyle Busch would say then he only has to compete against the best, I guess. But thanks to everybody watching right now. We'll see you guys on Sunday. I'm out.